Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the nation through his radio program Mann Ki Baat at 11 a.m. today. This will be the 13th edition of Mann Ki Baat program in which Prime Minister will share his thoughts with the nation on various issues. Poll campaigning in Bihar reaches its peak for the remaining 3 phases of assembly elections. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold a series of rallies today to canvass support for NDA. Grand Alliance leaders also campaigning tirelessly to woo the electorates. SIT begins probe into the mysterious death of a 15-year-old Dalit boy in Gohana town of Haryana. The SIT probe was ordered following allegations from the family that the youth died in police custody. Decoding operations across the country results in seizure of 75,000 tons of pulses so far, leading to easing of supplies. Centre has asked states to hold discussions with dal millers, wholesalers and retailers to make pulses available at reasonable prices. In a revolutionary step towards women empowerment, the Defence Ministry has approved the induction of women into the fighter stream of the Indian Air Force on Saturday. The decision has been taken in view the aspirations of the Indian women and is in line with the contemporary trends in the armed forces of developed nations. The first woman pilot would be selected from the batch which is presently undergoing flying training at the Air Force Academy. Delhi is all set to host more than 50 African leaders for the big Indo-Africa Summit next week. The summit will be one of the biggest summits New Delhi has hosted since the NAM Summit of 1984. Every 3 years since 2008, India has been hosting summit-level talks with the African states. Kidada, the deaf-mute Indian woman living in Pakistan, is all set to return home on 26th of October after both the governments gave final clearances for her journey back over a decade after she strayed across the border. Geeta was reportedly just 7 or 8 years old when she was found sitting alone on the Samjhauta Express by the Pakistani Rangers 15 years ago at the Lahore railway station. In Uttar Pradesh, 7 people were killed and nearly 25 others injured when 2 tractor trolleys collided in the Sambhal district on Saturday evening. The Department of Heavy Industry has drafted a national policy on capital goods. This is the first time that a policy on capital goods is being framed. The national policy on capital goods is envisaged to unlock the potential of this promising sector and establish India as a global manufacturing powerhouse. Maldives Vice President Ahmed Adib was arrested on Saturday in a probe over a speedboat explosion targeting President Yamin. Yamin escaped unhurt in the September 28th blast in his presidential boat while he was returning from Saudi Arabia after the Hajj pilgrimage. A contempt petition has been filed in the Pakistani Supreme Court against Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif for delivering his speech at the 70th United Nations General Assembly in English. The petitioner said that the Pak Prime Minister has flouted the September 8th Pakistani Supreme Court's verdict, which directed the federal and the provincial governments to use Urdu for the official purposes and other important occasions. Hurricane Patricia has weakened rapidly over Mexico, but authorities have warned of risks of floods and landslides as it dumps heavy rains. Patricia was the strongest storm ever recorded in the Americas, where it plowed into Mexico but has since been downgraded to a tropical depression. The United States and Saudi Arabia has jointly committed to ending the Syrian conflict by forming a transition committee that would write a constitution and prepare for a nationwide election. The decision comes following the US-Saudi talks in Riyadh. Washington and Riyadh are part of the US-led coalition that last year launched an air campaign targeting the Islamic State jihadist group, which controls parts of territory in Syria and neighboring Iraq. China has cut its one-year benchmark interest rates by 0.25 percentage point to 4.35%. China hopes that looser monetary policy in shape of cheaper money will help it hit the growth target of 7% for the year 2015.